Hey yo, what's this baby like? Nah. Not for real. Alright, hello, good evening. Nah, because people gonna think I'm really crazy. Nah, I. Hey y'all. Okay, so new video vibes and all of that. And I'm here to talk about planning a destination wedding in the midst of a pandemic. So today I'm gonna do something like a story time. So kind of giving my take on what happened around the time of meeting the deadline to RSVP and to book rooms. So I'm gonna talk about my experience and pretty much what I was feeling, what I was going through. Again, I'm speaking from my experience. I'm not gonna speak for anybody else, or I'm speaking for me. Okay, so let's just get right into it. So the save the dates went out in October because we had our engagement party in November. So, or maybe it was the end of September. I can't remember when exactly the save the dates went out, but they went out soon as we released the save the dates. Maybe the week after, we then released like the deadlines to make your deposit for the room. So we released that in probably October, early October, and the deadline to RSVP and to book was in January. The initial deposit, not the entire payment for your room, but just the initial deposit. So, in the midst of all of this, my personal guest list was already finalized because I only had like 40 people. My fiance continued to add people onto his guest list because he just felt as though it's about to be first come, first serve. That was his mindset. But again, I'm speaking from my experience, so I'm not gonna go too far into what my fiance's experience was. So pretty much we were continuing, myself and my team, we were continuing to add people to the website so they can RSVP, even if it was like a month before or a few weeks before. Like, it honestly got down to like maybe a week or two before when he was still adding people and like just saying, hey, if you want to come, you just gotta meet the deadline, yada yada yada. So my feelings about this was, this not no regular party. This not no like we just going to the club and here's your invite. This is our wedding, and we gotta be a little be particular. I don't want to say. I just feel like it's a selection, right? We're handpicking people to be with us and see us during this union, and so I just feel like the people who should be there should be people who want to see us be together and to see us longevity and forever and ever, amen. So I had a few feelings about him continuing to add people on to our guest list. On the other hand, though, he comes from a huge community. He comes from a huge family where a lot of people show love to him and want to see him do well and do great. And so I did understand on his end why he wanted to add people. Like, he has a lot of people who loves him out there. And I completely get it. Like, that's something that you make the sacrifice. Like, you're a part of a huge community, so a lot of people are going to be there for you, and I completely understood that. Fast forward. So pretty much there was a deadline. The deadline needed to be met 2 weeks into January. So we are at the day of the deadline. Not even. I'll say the week. The week of the deadline. When I tell y'all it was a frenzy, it was just like crazy. It's like, for some reason, black people just can't get it. I just wait to the last minute all the time. But you know what? It's all right. I still love my people. Every single person on the guest list I have love for. So it's it's no beef or nothing. It's just, from my experience as the bride, being part of the planning and all that, it was very stressful to me. So in the midst of all that, when it came to like meeting the deadline, we had people who were like, hey, can I add this person or can I bring this person? This was my messaging to the guests. So we have a guest list for the wedding. So our guest list for the wedding is a set number based off of the people who we invited So myself and my fiance, who we invited, and then if there was like a couple, a married couple, that would be their plus one. If you were single-handedly invited and you are one person, you are you weren't you can't bring anybody else to the wedding, pretty much. Now, if you wanted to bring somebody with you on the trip and pay that extra money, that's your business. I can't tell you what to do with your money or like what you want to do with that. They will not be included in any of our wedding events. So we would have, being that we're going to be out there for a 7-day span, we have events planned, wedding, reception, all this stuff, right? So they wouldn't be included in our numbers. That was my messaging. So it came to the point, not even just the week up, but even weeks before, I was kind of getting like hit up on the side, like, hey, can I bring this person, or is it okay if we add this person to my list? And I just felt like, why would y'all ask to bring people that I don't know to come to my wedding? It was just so weird to me. And also, I just don't feel like it was honestly that considerate of what we had going on. I feel like people started to look at our destination wedding as a vacation, as a personal vacation for themselves, and not necessarily like just coming to the wedding for us, for the union of me and my partner. And I had some feelings about that. I just feel like if you really down for us, it don't really matter who you gonna bring with, who you're going to bring with to the island, because you're here for us at the end of the day. So that was one thing. So the guest list thing, the RSVPing, the last minute, oh, y'all, when I tell y'all, people was RSVPing like the day of the deadline. I was like, why would y'all wait? Why would y'all wait? Because I'm thinking a week before, like, this is basically our numbers, but no, we had more people. And that's honestly due to my fiance. Nah, I love you, boo. Adding more people to the list. Didn't even tell me. Like, I had somebody RSVP the day of the deadline that wasn't even on the list, and he added them that same day. But you know what? It's gonna be all right. It's gonna be all right. Anyways, so yes, guest list chaos, last minute RSVPs. Here's the kicker. So again, I have love for every single person on our guest list, and this is not like a personal shot to anybody. I'm just explaining what my experience was as the bride, as being part of the planning of this wedding. Like, this is how I felt, and I feel like I have every right to have feelings about planning of my wedding because it's my wedding. Anyways, so we had people who RSVP'd but didn't book. I'm gonna say that again. We had people who RSVP'd but didn't book, and it came to a point where people were like, yeah, I'ma still come, I just ain't booked yet. But the deadline was yesterday. The deadline's tonight. You not gonna book? I'm confused. So I just feel like if you were truly considerate of myself and my fiance, of the invitation that you got to this wedding, it would have been communicated a little bit earlier than the day of the deadline that this is what you were going to do. And it kind of stressed me out a little bit because to a certain extent I had to get a hold on my numbers, right? Like, people who booked an RSVP, it should match, essentially, right? It should match. But my numbers are not matching. Currently, they still are not matching. And now I'm in a rock and a hard place to decide if people are saying, oh yeah, I RSVP'd, I'm gonna still book. I don't, and I'm gonna get to that. I'm gonna get to that next one that I was just about to say. I'm gonna get to that. I'll get to that in a second. And I understand people want to be smart with their money. I just wish that it would have got handled differently here. So the reason why I'm in a rock and a hard place is because we have people who are currently saying that they're still going to attend our wedding, but we don't have any like verification of them. Let's say my deadline was 2 weeks into January, that initial deposit deadline, to give my numbers to the resort. Like, this is the count. Now this goes with chairs, dinner, all that stuff. What am I supposed to do? To count those people, even if they RSVP but they didn't book, they're saying they're going to book. Am I supposed to take their word for it and still count them in my numbers, and then that ends up costing me more money out my pocket? Or do I leave my numbers the way they are based off of who RSVP'd and booked? I'm conflicted. And the reason why I'm leaning to the other one is because I'm really trying to be considerate. I'm not trying to punish people for not booking with us the day of the deadline. However, at the same time, I feel like the consideration that I'm giving to people about like still including them in my numbers, I don't feel like the same consideration was given when it came to letting us know or giving us a heads up about, what their plans were. And that's why I'm conflicted, because this is me giving people the benefit of the doubt and, being really considerate, but I feel like it wasn't reciprocated. So that's that. I don't like this. I don't like this at all. That's my little story time or whatever. Nah, but for real, like, I don't know what to do. Or maybe I'm being crazy. Maybe I'm being wrong for, like, not taking people for their word. Like, maybe I'm being crazy. Maybe it's me. Nah. Alright, that's it. Story time over. Later, y'all. Not for real, bye. Thanks for, if you listen, like, all the way through, I appreciate you, like, for real. Like, let me look you in your face. I hope I don't look too cockeyed, but I really do appreciate y'all.